clients.
Yes.
How do you transit, or what's the process of getting prospect to actual client?
It doesn't often just stop when you've sold them something and they've signed on the dotted line and they've paid the invoice. We've moved away from just the high pressure sales environments to a more consultative style approach to sales. So a client is essentially for life, and the relationships, it will depend on the support you give, the advice you give. Making things, what they're after, looking after their needs, attending to their needs, rather than just perhaps a 30-minute conversation or a number of emails. So a prospect really only turns into a client once that relationship and that trust has been built. And there's examples of, we've been working with clients for 10 or 15 years that we have incredibly good relationships with. At one point in time, they were just a cold prospect, but now we value them as clients, and they value us. So I think it doesn't. The hard work really starts once you've brought them on board as a client, because that's when you prove your worth.
How long would you say before someone does actually turn into a client, from prospect to client?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're selling. I mean, the processes. We have 15-minute conversations, and the deal's signed then and there. Other times it takes, there's a longer process. It could take months. It could take years. I mean, I don't think you should put, a time frame on things. The last thing you want to do is rush the process. People take time. That's who we are. You don't want people sort of making rash decisions. Again, it's about building relationships. It's about developing that trust and building that trust. That could take more than 5 minutes sometimes. So it's really, how long is a piece of string? Some prospects respond to you more warmly and more easily than others. So you have to be prepared to put the time in and to nurture the relationship and to develop that relationship, and don't rush things, because if you rush things, they'll feel rushed and they'll feel pressured, and then obviously it can turn sour.